today we have Danielle on.
Wonderful.
So, yeah. Yeah. So Danielle is joining us. She has been with AgentLocator, I'm not sure how long. She hasn't really been using her system. So, and I imagine that a lot of us kind of fall into that same bracket where we have things and just aren't doing some of the things we know we could be doing. Danielle also has different systems as well. So that's part of the struggle is kind of learning how to balance leads and utilize and best practices for somebody that may be in a scenario where you are using multiple systems and want to make the most of it.
Fun. Gosh, we haven't done this one for a while.
Yeah.
This is right up my alley. I love systems. This is exciting.
Yeah. Danielle, did you want to add anything in there?
No, that's right. Like, what I mean by multiple systems is like you guys said, like, the bot or the system automatically sends listings from AgentLocator, and then I'm trying to send listings from MLS.
Okay.
And I find that either they don't know who I am, or it's just it's hard to build the rapport this way. I struggle with cold calls. Most of my business is referral, and with cold calls, there's just no loyalty. And at any point that can break. And it's a lot of work for me not to have, some kind of a connection to people. So I have entertained a few people that I saw, and it happened that I was on when I saw the bot was answering. And so I was on my computer, so I was able to real time answer. But like the next day and stuff, or some people will request a showing on a property, but then say that they have an agent and they're looking for their kids or something. Well, I know you guys say, well, it's not, the no is a not now. I don't like it when agents try and steal my listings, so I absolutely will not try and pull somebody over that's already represented. And especially in our market today, where listings are sitting on the market, I have a lot of people calling me saying my agent is terrible, and I said, okay, well, why? And when I see that they have professional photos, done all the things that they needed to do, I go back to the person and be like, be loyal to your agent. They're trying and they're doing the best they can. It's the market. If we're not getting showings, then it's there's just no buyers out there, and that's the reality of our market today. Now, if some agent took pictures with their phone, it looks like a haunted house, and they did no justice for the seller, or it's priced wrong, well, then absolutely I'll step in and I'll be like, fire your agent right now. They're not doing you any justice, and that actually pisses me off. So I try to, but if people have an agent and they're, like they should be loyal to their agent. It's not always the agent's fault. Again, if you do everything professional and you do your photos, then there's no reason like why you should switch agents. I'm just going to do the same thing. So, I try to be loyal.
There was a lot we could unpack there. What is, because I could really go off on a tangent on the whole listing thing. What is most important for you to walk away from this hour that will help you with your business?
I'd like to find a way to translate this avenue of AgentLocator to money.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like to make a first
How long
connection.
have you had AgentLocator?
More than a year.
Okay. So all of your leads are going into AgentLocator, whether they're referral or they're your sphere, they're all sitting in your AgentLocator, correct?
Yes. And at first I was so excited about it because I was like, oh, this is kind of like your own app, which is kind of what I wanted to do forever. So I imported all my contacts in there too, which it just kind of confused people. People didn't really use it. And then MLS came out with something like in Royal LePage where they want us to use their system and have people welcome them to look at listings. So when I send listings to them, it invites them to also log on. It's too many.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of systems. So I'm trying to figure out how to, maybe, iron that out or just like, I like systems. I can follow a system. It's to create.
Well, and it's finding the system that works best for you and your clients to meet the overall end result that you're looking to gain. I know personally for our MLS and all the MLSs that I have been part of here in the United States, it's a little bit more clunkier and it's not as efficient of my time to work my leads through the MLS. So I always set up my searches through my other systems because it's so much easier to track, trace, and communicate when you have everything all in one place, which Agent Locator has all of the tags, all of your organization in regards to just having everything laid out there of who you're supposed to call next. When are you going to be calling them? When was it? Like, we usually don't have that opportunity in the MLS. Am I correct?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So the MLS is really just that's where we go to look at properties.
Right,
The average layperson, they just go online and look, and they
right,
could be looking on a multitude of
right,
different platforms of where they're looking at the listings.
right. I do have a lot of people that join. I think my screen like that attracts people. It looks good. It's like modern. It's clean. Like I do like the way the page looks, and I do definitely get a lot of people signing up and thing. I just haven't been able to convert them or connect with them.
And is that on your agent locators, what you're saying?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I do see that the database fills, and I mean,
Yeah.
I'm struggling to try and sell my listings right now, but I should be designating some time daily to Agent Locator to learn the platform better and just start maneuvering or, prospecting
Okay.
in there because I
So
definitely
are
have.
you more listing heavy than you are buyer heavy?
I don't understand when an agent says that. I'll take any business anyway.
Okay. Well,
So
just that
yeah,
you're talking more, you're talking about listings. I just thought maybe you have more listings and you focus more on the listing side than you do on the buyers.
I take any business. Just right now,
Yep.
our market here in Toronto is that listings are sitting. So I have maybe 10 listings. One, I have a 4 million in Mississauga. I've had it since August 2023. I'm about 35,000 in marketing. And
So
it's
they're not rotating, is what you're saying. They're just like
yes, like
sitting and
it's
holding.
never. I've been in business 17 years and we never hold inventory like this.
Ah,
So
okay.
yes.
Okay.
And then so I'm either running the risk of losing my client, I'm spending money and not making any. Yeah, buyers are great right now, but nobody wants to buy because everybody's scared.
Yeah.
Because people travel in herds. Stocks are down,
Ah,
they want
isn't
to
that
sell.
crazy? And one
Mhm.
day that light switch flips and it seems like everybody's buying. And it's like
Crazy.
we're
Yes.
as agents, we're the last one to get that memo. Like I don't
Yeah.
even understand how it happens, but in
Yeah.
every shift of the market that
Yeah.
I've been through, that seems to be the case of what happens. We just don't know when.
Yes.
So how many leads do you have in your agent locator platform?
I do not know offhand. Should I
There's
check?
450-ish,
Okay.
something around there, I
Okay.
think.
And
Yeah.
probably 150 were my contacts. The rest is all people
Mm.
coming in.
Okay. So looking at your agent locator as the average person that is out there researching, they're jumping online. They don't know who you are. They don't know who Crystal is. They don't know who I am, and they don't know Joe Blow. They just know that they want to see the house on 123 Main Street,
Mhm.
and they end up there.
Mhm.
We have no idea where they are in the process or what made them even, let's just say, Google to even look at that property. So when we are compiling leads and those leads are being generated and coming into the dashboard, it used to be, I'm not even going to say how many years ago, back when lead generation first began, let's put it that way. It used to be those people were looking to buy and they were looking to buy now and they were easy to convert. But as technology has really destroyed that, what word am I looking for? Let's just say communication,
Yeah.
because
Personability too.
people
Like just
don't have
that
to talk to
human contact.
anybody, right?
No, no, yes.
I mean, heck, I saved $1,500 on my CPA because my chat GPT did such a good job with my taxes this year. So my CPA lost us as a client,
Yeah.
right? And my girlfriend, she's going through a bankruptcy. Chat GPT was giving her all the forms, but she didn't even need a bankruptcy attorney.
Yeah.
So when we look at how much technology has changed, the unfortunate thing is our minds haven't caught up to how the technology has changed the leads coming into our dashboards. And when
Yeah.
you're talking about your listings, and this is something that lights me up because I was listing heavy. I used to be really buyer heavy. I was all buyers. The only listings I had was what they had to sell. But then I shifted my focus on working listings and I just did listing appointments. And then I have my buyer agents. So
But you wouldn't refuse business because you were more one or the other side heavy.
I never refuse business. Oh, heck
No,
no.
you would take
Never
business on both
refuse
sides.
business.
You just
But it's
focused on
what
finding.
I put my personal time and energy into.
Okay.
I moved my personal time and energy from calling leads to finding the listings
Okay.
and getting the listing appointments. So as my listings were growing, when I was talking with my sellers, when you have a database of, so if you have, let's say you have 450, 150 are yours, and you have 300 leads in your database, right? You walk into a listing appointment, I have 300 people in my database that are looking for homes in Mississauga area. Now, I don't know when or where or what home they're looking for, but I have access to these leads, and this is how I market your property. And when we start looking at our leads in our database, as we want to educate them on the market and remembering social media, right? And have you heard the term scroll stopper?
Scroll stopper. No.
Scroll stopper. So when you're like this and you're going through your gram, you're like, oh, it caught your attention enough to stop your scrolling.
Okay.
Scroll stopper,
Okay.
right? So we all are so caught up in so much media, something has to grab our attention. Now, what grabs my attention and what grabs your attention are two totally different things.
Mhm.
But my favorite saying, if you can be the umbrella to somebody's rainy day, you win. And that's the scroll stopper.
Okay.
So out of the leads that are in your dashboard, you have no idea who's looking for what, which is fun because you can create multiple little stories on your listings
Okay. Mhm.
and start educating, right? So you can utilize your agent locator as a way of communication to say, okay, tell me about that home that you've had on the market. What did you say? It was 4 million that you've had on the market since 2023?
Yes. Yes. It's
What
in
stands out the
Minneapolis.
most to you about that property? What do you love the most about that property? Like one single feature.
Probably the square footage, just the vastness of it, ceiling height, big windows, custom, huge property.
So when you take something like that, that's very broad. But if we take something sexy, like a fireplace, like something like a man cave in the basement, or a closet that the women can put all of their shoes in.
Okay.
And if we take one particular focus out of that property, and your sellers know their home the best, and your sellers have their favorite areas in their properties that they love and they spend more time with. So not only are you able to communicate to your dashboard by just feeding them little tidbits of fun facts, but you're also communicating to your seller, say, hey, I really want to market what you love about your property. Because one thing you'll find in real estate, the people that buy a listing are very much usually like the sellers because like attracts like, right? So the person that's selling the house is probably going to attract the same type of person
The
into
only
that
difference
property.
with this one is it's a new construction.
Okay.
My client said their design of it was very specific, like the house is blue. So it was made for them. They've had it for maybe 10 years, but never ended up moving in.
Oh,
10 years later, having problems with removing the trees, delays during COVID, a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old. Now they ended up buying a house near the in-laws. So they've actually never lived there. So I've staged it.
interesting.
I priced it at 5.5 when we started, and I said that was a bit high. They wanted 6.3 because they were weighing out how much money they've put in and carrying and how long they've had this property and just
Yep.
all the challenges and trivials they had to put it up. And now we're down to 4 million from 6.3. So we're better, but I'm still not like,
I love that though. There's your story.
yeah.
And people love real stories. Let me tell you about this house because it's going to pique someone's interest and go, oh my God, that house has never been lived in. Right. So we, as real estate agents, have to remember we just happen to be in the real estate business, but we're really lead generators. That's really what our job is because we wake up every day unemployed and we need to try to find our business every day. Right. So what's going to find that business? And people love stories and people love the scroll stopping. So it's getting creative, utilizing your chat GPT like a person Like you've just hired this great marketing person and you go to ChatGPT and you say, I have this home on the market. Here is the problem. And here's what I want to do. Create me a social media campaign and an email campaign that I can use to market this property and start utilizing that and honing in and really being specific with your subject lines, because we all get a crap ton of emails. But what makes you open the email? The subject line.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So when you have a really strong subject line and someone opens it, you're increasing your open rate. And that helps with emails that are coming out of your database.
Okay. Dumb that down for me, like exactly how to do that. So I get it with the ChatGPT and campaign. How do I market that to my agent locator people?
So you can mass produce or you can mass email in your agent locator.
Okay.
So if you have your subject line and you're like, I'm just going to make some crap up, urgent fire sale, right? That would make me open it. Like, oh, fire sale. Oh, what?
Yeah.
Did a house catch on fire? Like, you just got to know, right? You open the email and you stage your email, because the most important thing about emails is not just having all words. Have different color text, have bold text, have different like italics, and break it up into little segments, because the majority of people that are reading emails are skimmers.
Okay.
Right? So we don't have time to read a whole entire email. You will have the engineer type people that will read everything. But for the majority, people are skimmers. So when you're building your email, you want your bold and italics text to be like one solid sentence that puts your message out there, just in that bold. So they can literally read the bold and get the whole message without reading the whole thing.
And
Everything else is fluff.
should I be organizing the contacts to match a little closer to what they were looking for? Or, because I don't know, I don't think anybody on there was looking for a
We got
form.
no time for that.
We just send it to everybody.
Send it
Okay.
to everybody, because what you're doing is you're organically segmenting what people are looking for. Now, I wouldn't send the exact same house every day for the next 2 weeks, right? So space it out. Ask ChatGPT, like, when is the best time? This is my market. This is my location. ChatGPT is very smart because it's collected all the data in your market. It knows. When's the best time? When's the best days for me to send emails? And I would take each of your listings and I would maybe do an email every couple of days on each listing. And get your database used to your style of marketing and get them opening the emails. Because here's what's going to happen. Oh my God, she's really marketing her listings and I love her creativity.
Yeah.
Because
I
the
never
whole
thought to
thing
use it that
is,
way.
well, we want to attract people because it really sucks to chase people.
It totally
That is
does.
like the worst part of our business.
Yeah.
But the sad thing is, in this business, when we don't see immediate results, we give up on it way too fast.
Mhm, mhm.
And that
Discouraging.
consistency is what really builds, and falling in love with the end result. You were doing a fantastic job for your sellers because you're getting their house out there, and you never know who's going to share that email with a friend, a family member, because it's not who people know, it's who they know.
Mhm,
The average person knows 100 people. So yeah, you may have 300 people in your dashboard, but those 300 people each know 100 people.
mhm, mhm.
And the only way that we can set ourselves up for success is through the consistency of time to keep you top of mind.
Yes.
So if you've ever gone to the store, do you all have Hobby Lobbies up there?
No.
No.
Home Goods, any type of store.
Like Home Sense?
What is it?
Like Home Sense?
Oop, we don't have that one.
No, it's like
They have
interior
like
design
a,
decorating.
if you sign up for a text message, do you get like 20% off today only? And then
okay,
tomorrow,
yeah.
15% off today only. Oh, here's today. Like, you get a text message every single day.
Yeah.
Or you get an email. Sometimes, do you have Kohl's?
Kohl's? No.
No
No.
Kohl's.
That's maybe an H&M or actually Ted Baker does that with my thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So does
People
Alexander
sign up
McQueen.
because they want to see like, ooh,
Yeah.
Target. You have Target?
Yeah. We did. It went out under.
Not surprised. So Target, I mean, it's like I literally get 2 emails a day from them.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. And it's the subject line. It is the subject line that pulls me in because if I'm looking for a crock pot and they're like, today's special crock, I gotta go, I gotta look. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna buy it
Yeah.
for the most part.
Yeah. That's just top of mind.
I have been wanting a sous vide so bad. I had a sous vide. Long story, I don't have it anymore, but I've been wanting a sous vide so bad. And they put the fire sale on it, right? It was like $299. You got 16 free meals. I still didn't buy it. I get emails I'm like, ooh, I really need to get that sous vide. Ooh, I really need to get that sous vide. I need to get that sous vide. And then every day I come home, I'm like, I don't have a freaking meal in my freezer to pop in my sous vide. And I'm like, I want it every day, but I just haven't sat down to commit to it. And it's just a stupid $300 machine that sits on my counter. It's not a house,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So we have to give these leads some grace.
Okay.
But it comes every day. And there's
I
going to
like
be
that
one
idea
where I
because
sit
I
down
can
and I
send
go,
that to my database as well
100%.
because it works for them too. And then they just see me, keeps again, top of mind, remind them I'm an
100%.
agent and don't go to your neighbor.
Yes, and that's it. And that really brings me back to when you were talking about the leads that are coming in that are upset with their listing agents. This is what I will tell you. Communication is absolutely key. And don't be fast to think that it's not the agent just because there's good photos. So when I really shifted my business onto listings, I was doing listing appointments with so many listings that were getting ready to expire. And I turned away the majority of the listings. I turned away 60% of the listing appointments that I went on because the sellers were, their expectations just did not match the market. However, the stories that I heard sitting at these sellers' kitchen tables were mortifying to me because literally listing agents will go in there, they'll have great photos, they'll have great intentions, but that seller never hears back from that listing agent again because they do not know how to negotiate price reductions and they don't know how to properly communicate with their seller because they go in, they set the listing at what the seller wants and then they don't know what to do with it and then the seller's life is on hold.
Mhm.
And I can't tell you how many times that's happened in the stories that I've heard. You know, you've got husband and wife that want to go be with their grandkids in another state. They wanted to be there 6 months ago, but they wasted 6 months of their life because they didn't think they could break the contract that they had with their listing agent.
Mhm.
So I always like to ask those questions of, do you feel, I don't like to steal business from anybody. I totally respect that and I understand what you're saying. However, we have to look at the buyers and the sellers because you have a real estate license, they'll go with anybody. They don't
Mhm.
understand the intricacies that it really doesn't take much brains to get your real estate license to
Mhm.
negotiate your biggest investment
Mhm.
and literally your life.
Mhm. To that point, I actually get a lot of clients when they do work with me, they're shocked that what I do and what I bring to the table compared to what other previous agents. So probably the worst thing about my industry is real estate agents,
Yes,
just how
100%.
unprofessional they are. But
100%.
honestly, their eating or not eating doesn't affect my diet, and they make me look better. My little level of
Fact.
service is like accelerates their excels to their a
Yes.
maximum level of service. So when people see that I'm a full service agent, I'm not a discount agent. I don't give breaks on commission, but I offer a lot of things with my service, like staging, full marketing. I do my own open houses. Everything is in contact with me. That's how I challenge a team because I'm a
Yeah.
one person. That you'll deal with me, not just the team captain for a minute and then some agent that couldn't make it on their own. So I try to market it that way. But no, I definitely agents make me look good because their level of service is just crazy. And yes, that irritates me too, because
Yeah.
those are the
It
people
does.
that
It
give
drives
our
me crazy.
industry a bad name. Um,
100%.
I take
So
my
I
work seriously.
always ask that question. And my main question is, do you feel that your agent 100% has your back and would you hire them again?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
95% of the time, they're going to say no.
Yeah, which is crazy.
What can I do for you to help you? I'm not
Mhm.
stealing a business. I'm not stealing a listing. What can I do to help you?
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
And then let that conversation organically grow from
Mhm.
there.
Yeah.
Because there's like this many really great agents in the industry that should be in the industry doing what they do for their clients. But then there's like this many agents that really don't belong in the industry
Yeah.
because their biggest competition are the mom and pops. They're just doing one here, one there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're not doing their due diligence, but the average person doesn't understand that. And that's not our fault. But we get all in our heads of, well, I don't want to see, I don't want to. No, it's about that particular person and helping them move forward with their life.
Yeah.
And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Yeah.
But the reality is, with the leads that you're collecting in your database, your brand is what is going to attract people to you. So, what sets you apart from all of those other agents?
Mhm.
And you just basically spilled it out. But how many of those leads in a database and how many people that are in your little sandbox of a market know that?
Mhm.
And when my coach said to me, why don't you have any more listings? And I'm like, he's like, well, it's your fault because those people don't even know you're an option.
Mhm.
I'm like, oh, hello.
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm.
So how do we get in front of more people?
Mhm.
And why I say being the umbrella on that rainy day, you can have 10 umbrellas. You can have some in your car, you can have some at home, you can have some at work, wherever. But you get caught in the rain without your umbrella, you're buying another one. And that's what we want to be in the real estate market.
Mhm.
We want to solve those problems and we need to know what is keeping our people up at night right now and how can we be the solution? And right now, you know your market and you know you got listings sitting. So, what are buyers' expectations right now? Who is buying? Because I can promise you, if you log into the MLS right now and you look at last year, October sales versus this year, October sales, it's probably not going to be crazy far off. And I've done this just over time because our brain tells us it's different because our business is different. But those sales are still happening. They've just been dispersed out through multiple agents, not just the top agents that we know that always have everything.
Mhm. Mhm.
So our perception of the market is based on what we're seeing with our eyes, not based on the actual facts and data.
Mhm.
So when we start digging into the facts and the data, our eyes become way open. I'm like, oh my God, the market isn't as bad as what I thought it was.
Mhm.
Or
Mhm.
we start to see what's happening with the market.
Mhm.
But if we can find within the last year, how many $4 million homes sold in your market? If nothing sold in the entire year, but then you got a $3 million one that has better quality, has better amenities than your $4 million one. Hey, Mr. Seller, you ain't got a bat's chance in hell. You might want to Airbnb this thing out
Mhm.
and just wait this out.
Mhm.
But we don't know what we don't know until we really start digging into data.
Mhm.
And that is also another piece that we can market to our agent locator.
How?
When I started doing radio, and that's where I really learned like what's the problem in my market. Then when I started radio, people were having a hard time affording their mortgages because all of their mortgages were adjusting because they all got adjusted rates. And then that 3-year, 5-year arm was readjusting and they couldn't afford it because they overbought. They all bought new construction, they all overbought and they couldn't afford their mortgage. So my hook was if I don't sell your home in so many days, I'll pay your mortgage. I got phone
A
calls.
little star beside it, and then there's all the
Mhm.
I
disclosures
got
with
phone
it.
calls.
Yeah.
But you know what? I don't give a shit because they're calling me,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I get in front of them because what do we say? If you put someone in front of me, I'm selling them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was no lie. There was no lie. If I didn't sell your home, I would pay your mortgage. I did it one time and it was out of the kindness of my heart because all my homes sold, but it was out of the kindness of my heart because we had a deal fall through. And it was the buyer's financing fell through and it affected my clients an extra month. So my pay your mortgage was I will give you the month mortgage back as out of my commissions when we go to settlement. So I would supplement that monthly mortgage, right? That was my deal. But whatever we can do to make our phone ring, that we can bring light to it. I just had different pricing strategies when I went to my listing appointment. I'm like, well, if you want this guaranteed sale and you want me to do this, this is a number you have to list it at. And I had all the facts and data and I knew it would sell, which is why I would walk away from 60% or more of my listings, because I'm not going to play that game.
Right.
If you want to try and list up here, I'm not playing that game. If
Right.
you want to sell, I can give you 10 agents' names that will put a sign in your yard and overprice your property. And you're going to be on the market for 6 months. And you know what? You've now built 6 months of history.
Mhm.
I love you, but I don't love you that much. I'm here to sell your house.
Mhm.
You either want to move forward or you don't.
Mhm.
So if you list with somebody else, I'll see you in 6 months.
Yeah.
And genuinely, they probably wouldn't. Most of them did not go on the market because they had the facts and the data.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when you look at your agent locator, when you're building your brand, asking yourself, what is my value proposition? What benefit do these 300 people have utilizing my services over any other agent in your market? And when you find that value proposition, that's your brand.
Right.
And that's like your elevator pitch. And that's what you are putting out there to everyone. But you can do that through marketing your listings because you're building on several levels.
Yep. Yep.
We just talked a lot. I talked a lot.
Yeah, no, that's good. It's a different avenue that I didn't even think of. I didn't even think of, and again, I'm looking for different avenues to market my listing because I'm almost out. I have another one I just listed. I'm out of all my marketing. I've used all my stuff already. I've done different exterior landscaping inside this. So now I just did a music video there. I had a drummer in the back by the pool, and and I had a bass guitarist on the elevator, the car elevator lift, and did a music video there just to remarket it again in a different way.
Well, and even taking that a step further, right, is asking, and this is when social media first started being a thing. I've been in real estate too long. Tagging, asking the seller their favorite restaurant, their favorite social place, their favorite stores, their favorite whatever's in that community, and sell the community. And tag all of those businesses in those social media posts, because then you're going to get multiple exposure with those businesses.
Mm-hmm. That's touchy because a lot of clients, especially ones that are sitting for more than a month. I mean, average day on the market now, I think is 57 days. It's not what it used to be. It's actually back to what it used to be 10 years ago than what it was only a couple years ago. But some people feel like their listing gets stale. And then also they don't want everybody knowing that they're selling, especially if they're selling through a hardship. So that might be hard just because a lot of people don't want their friends and family.
And they're hurting their own marketing.
Mhm.
And they need to know that. If that's what they choose, that's fine. However, exposure and people knowing the home is on the market and having them see it from a different perspective, moving is one of those things that my best analogy is just about vacations. So, do you know where you're going on vacation next year?
Yeah.
You weren't very confident in that, yeah.
Puerto Rico in January. I'm going to Bahamas with my family in February, and then maybe Italy in August with my family.
Okay, so maybe Italy in August, but that's not like set in stone.
No,
Okay.
because it'll be August or September. We haven't decided.
So it's just like kind of floating around the back of your head,
None of it is booked, but we're on the
right?
verge of.
And now that we're having the conversation about Italy, you're probably going to be thinking about it even later today because we were just talking about Italy in August,
no,
September,
100%.
October, right?
Yep.
So now it's on your mind. And then you might Google something tonight and go, oh my God, that would be really cool to go there. And then that it piques that excitement, but then, oh my God, you have something happen that draws you away from that Italy thought. And it's because it's way later in August, September, right? So something's pulling you away from that thought. And then next week, you go to have Italian food. And you're like, oh, we're going to be going there in August, September, October. And then you Google again. So each time you're exposed to it, you start to get closer and closer to, we need to book this.
Yeah.
And then once it's booked, that time can't get here fast enough.
Yeah. Top of mind.
Nothing's changed. The time is still the same amount of time. Nothing has changed,
Yeah.
but our perception of how we see the end result. Because now we booked it. Now we got to go. Now we got to go. We're excited to go.
Yeah.
But until that point, and moving is the same way. Oh God. Oh my God. I can't stand when my kids' friends come over and they take over my house ain't big enough. I need a bigger house. But then the kids all go away. It's like going to Disney World, right? Like you forget about the line that you waited 2 hours for a 30-second ride.
Yeah.
Kids go away until the next thing.
Yes.
Oh my God, I need a bigger house, right? Until they get to the point that's that breaking point.
Yeah. It's to keep it top of mind. You're the agent. If they want it, when they want to make that move, see a red car, see a red car. Yeah.
Yes, 100%. And that's really what Agent Locator allows us to do, is be in front of people. And you're organically taking care of people that opt out, that just, nope, I don't want your emails anymore. And go, woohoo, yay, they're not my tribe anyway. Right? And just attract more leads. Attract more leads. And in that way, you're building database with people that you want to talk to. But the reality is let's say you have 300 people in your database, and let's say you've talked to 100 of them, you got 200 people you've never even spoke to. I don't spend a hill of beans of time at all setting up any searches. I do nothing because I have no idea. Their mom could be a real estate agent. Their daughter could be a real estate agent. I have no idea. I'm not spending a lick of time on them. I just want them to raise their damn hand. So whatever communication I can get out there to them to get them to raise their hand to say yes or no, you win. Because we need to find that how they're going to communicate with us. Because you're right. People today, like, we get so many spam calls. No, I mean, we went from the days where you would call somebody and you would ask for that person because you're always calling a landline, right? You're calling a home phone, is so-and-so there. And it took years for me to train agents to get away from that. Like, you are calling cell phones. Don't ask for somebody. Like, that's like hands up saying, I'm a telemarketer, and right?
Yeah. That's funny.
Kids assume it's the person that answers the phone, but technology has changed the game so much. So now we go from calling landlines to nobody's answering their phone at all. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, like, dash into the phone. Like, if that phone rang, it was somebody you knew, and it was somebody important that you probably wanted to talk to. To today, it's just white noise.
Yeah.
You choose if you want to make that conversation or if you want to take the conversation.
Yeah.
And we're just not a priority until we book that Italy trip. Once you book that Italy trip, anybody talking about Italy is a priority. If they're calling to sell you on a bonbon, you're like, hey, yeah, tell me about that place over there. Yeah, I want to go there when I'm there, right?
Yeah.
But until then, you're like, leave me alone. I get better things to do.
Yeah.
And we just have to understand that and respect that with our database. But even having those conversations. So in your Chat GPT, you can tell Chat to break up your communication between email and texting. And then basically your text can be a way dumbed down version of the email. And your text is basically the highlighted text within the email. So then you're finding their favored form of communication. You said something earlier that was really important. I was at the computer and I saw the bot responding, and I was able to take over the chat. Or was it text messaging?
Yeah, they were going back and forth, and it was a good moment for me to jump in. I looked at the property they were asking about, and I just jumped in because they don't know who they're talking to. Some of them feel like it's nothing, and often they think they're talking to me.
That's
or
right.
often, at least.
And I'm going to say, Crystal, correct me if I'm wrong, 98% of the agents do not ever pay attention to that communication, and they're just waiting for the phone call to come in. And that is that, am I,
it's a lot of them, especially, newer ones that have learned, that don't know, right? They're expecting a call back or somebody reach out.
Oh, I never
So,
thought you can get a call back. I'm always looking at the thing, but I often have people telling me off. I'll jump in and they're like, stop calling me or just stop. I told you to stop messaging me. And I'm like, oh, like, so I've seen a bunch of them tell me
yeah,
off.
yeah.
But
Well, because they're receiving information, right? Like they came in there and they're receiving information that they don't want. And that's great. Okay, see you later. Bye. Because you're not
mhm,
going to win them all. Could you imagine if all 300 people said, "Hey, I want to buy a house. I want to buy a house."
mhm.
You'd be like, "Oh God, what do I do now?"
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah. I'm only one person.
Yes. Yes. So you
And they do
want to
stagger.
like,
They stagger too, right?
Mhm,
So
mhm.
just, not now doesn't mean not ever,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. I do have people on the back burner that I can't get to yet because I'm trying to sell my listings and deal
Mhm,
with them. So yes, I'm only one
mhm,
person, and it's hard for me to figure out where to put my energy and time into to get results.
mhm.
Because I find that I, don't intentionally, but I waste a lot of time.
So on that note, honestly, my main priority in my dashboard were those new leads within the 2 weeks because I want to know why they Googled something and came into my dashboard. And I am way more diligent in those first 2 weeks of trying to get a hold of them because all I want is their story. I just want to know where they are in the process and how can I fit in the future.
Mhm, mhm,
That's it. So the first 2 weeks is your highest priority, and that's where your filters are already built in. So if you pay attention to those leads in those first 2 to 3 weeks, you're going to have a lot of conversations. You're going to be weeding a lot of people out. You're going to be getting rid of the bad phone numbers. You're going to be putting people on bad phone number campaigns. And then you're not going to have as many leads as you're filtering out the I'm never going to buy. They're going to take me out in a box out of my home. You're going to take out the bad phone numbers. You're going to take out the people that are like, well, my kids have to be graduated from university in 5 years, right? Whatever. Or I might be relocating. I don't know. There's just
yeah.
word of it in my job. I'm just like looking to see whatever, right? So you're weeding out a lot of the people as you're having conversations. So you're organizing your database. So you don't have as many people to deal with.
Mhm.
And then just asking them, hey, can I send you some emails just about my listings and what's kind of going on in the Mississauga market?
And even the initial communication, like, do I do that to Twillo number, or I end up just trying to call with my cell and either they don't answer? Like, I have trouble juggling that too on how to communicate back with them through the system. And then do I set them up on MLS or are they set up already on Agent Locator? And I've tried, like, I'm not as familiar, obviously, with that platform than MLS.
Yeah, yeah,
But I think it's just to obviously designate time to get familiar with it.
100%.
Mhm.
Great question. And this is like so important for everyone to listen to because when a new lead comes in, if I never have a conversation with you, I'm not taking any time at all to set up anything because I just don't know who you are and I just don't have that kind of time. I got other things I got to do. So all my focus is dialing, 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 dialing. I just want to have a conversation with them. You have automation happening that is sending out emails, that is sending out text messages. All you have to do is initiate that phone call. So with that phone call, 23 seconds is approximately 4 rings. 23 seconds next, 23 seconds next, 23 seconds next. Now we are in 2025 and Twilio, for the most part, because our phone technology is so smart, it says likely spam or spam likely. I ain't answering it, right?
Mhm.
So there are people, curiosity killed the cat, right? And like they pick up every phone call because they may not be really important people and they may not get a lot of phone calls. But I like to mix it up. So, what is your goal today? I have nothing to do today. It's a free day. It's an easy day. I'm going to manual dial my leads that registered over the last 2 weeks. And then I'm going to manually dial the leads that are the most active in my dashboard over the last 30 days.
So dumb that down. You're going to call them and say what?
So, new lead, hey, I saw that you were online looking at homes in Mississauga. Where are you at in the process?
Oh, just get into it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I
I
think I
don't go
appreciate
into this is Beverly with this company and this Emma. They don't
that's what I was just gonna say. If I say Danielle Muscala from Royal LePage, that right away is a
they're
guard.
gonna hang up.
But if I say I notice I'm from Dream Locator, which is my website,
They don't care.
yes,
There's 5 other ones. They don't
no,
care.
but if I say Dream Locator and I just saw you were looking, I want to help you with navigating the website.
Creeper,
Oh,
creeper.
really? Oh, okay, okay. No, I found that that was an easier way of reaching them.
And if it works for you,
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
I like to cut them right to the punch because they know they were online looking. I saw you were online looking for homes. Just wonder
Doesn't
where
matter
you're
where
in
I'm
the
from.
process.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They don't care if you have Zimbabwe website. They don't, because they don't even know. Because what I found for myself is we created our own objections because they're like, what website again? Because they're answering a phone that they have no idea who you are and they're not even listening to what you're saying. So everything we say in those first few seconds, they're not getting. So when you say, I saw you were online looking at homes, they hear that because now you're accusing them of doing something. And they're like, oh, yeah, I was. And they're like, oh, I was just looking, right? That's the first thing you get. I was just looking and say, oh, that's great. I'm not here to sell you anything. I just wonder, like, what are you just looking at?
Yeah.
What are your plans? What are your future plans? So when you're looking, when you're having that kind of conversation, you're not selling anything, you're asking questions. So he who asks the questions controls the conversation.
Mhm. Mhm.
And it puts them in that less of a defensive mode because people like to answer questions and people like to talk about themselves.
Mhm.
So yeah, you're just looking, but just looking for this year, next year, 5 years, 20 years?
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
would you just be looking for?
Mhm.
Because that's the only way we can have an idea of how qualified of a lead they are.
Mhm.
And then it's, well, do you own or do you rent?
Mhm.
I own. Oh, great. How long have you been in your house? A year. You'd be like, whoop, red flag. A year and you're looking? So what has to happen for you to make a move in the future? What kind of time frame are you looking for? If they say 10 years, oh my gosh, you probably have great equity, right? So when you ask them if they own or they rent, you're digging a little bit deeper in the conversation to get more information, to ask more questions. Now, if they rent, I want to know, are they in a lease term or are they
Mhm.
month to month?
Mhm.
Because again, that gives you that time frame. What's
Mhm.
your goal? What are you looking for? Are you looking to be in a home before your lease runs out?
Mhm.
If you're month to month, what's your plan?
Mhm.
We just
Mhm.
have to see if we fit into the plan.
Yeah.
There's a lot of texting going on here. Crystal, is there anything I need to address here as we're talking?
No, no, we're just talking about his number showing up as spam, and there's the higher registration that you can do.
Yeah, I can't remember how I did it, but mine showed likely spam too, and I called you guys and you walked me
Mhm.
through how to make it not. And but I've actually learned to answer likely spam because half of them are really somebody that was inquiring about a property and they don't even
Mhm.
know why their phone does that. So it's hard to dissect.
With
It's not always
release.
spam.
Yeah, because the numbers all get recycled all over the place. So if someone gets a new phone and has a phone number and that phone number has been used previously for who knows what reason, and people kept marking it as spam, you've now grabbed a phone number for your everyday life and it's
Yeah.
marked as
And
spam.
it was
So
before, yes, yes.
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
And I do like to change it up because the Twilio number doesn't always 100% recognize every bad phone number. So if you're 23 seconds next, 23 seconds next, you're not going to be able to recognize the do-do-do, right? The do-do-do. So I do like to mix it up and manual dial, and you will have more people pick up. Does it take longer? 100%. Because like you're dialing and do you dial wrong numbers? Heck, well, I do. Heck yeah, because my fingers are the wrong way, right?
mhm.
So I'm like, it's supposed to be a 3, but it's a 6, right? Like I'm like all backwards. So I'm like dialing the number and then I look and then I look back and then I look and I look back and make sure I'm calling the right number before I dial through. So yes, it takes longer, but it's worth it if you're going to have more conversations. And the only way you're going to know is to play with it.
Now, when I have a contact that, like today, I had a contact, he jumped back on, hasn't been active in 30 days.
Mhm.
Would you say to call them right away, or again, it's the 2 weeks? Is that more of a priority?
I like to designate my time to do the one thing. I don't like to go in there and just, I don't like to chase the squirrels, right? So if the leads are in my filters, if you're looking to be efficient, working through your filters are your highest priority leads.
Okay.
So I don't have time to single out and look at one particular person and go, oh my God, he's been in here forever and he finally logged in. Now, if there's the one filter, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I know, Crystal, you changed some of my filters, because I know the one filter that I had that was my absolute favorite, no matter when they registered, I had a filter that if they were actively engaged within 30 days, they were in a filter. So that even means if you have a lead that's 5 years old and they open an email and they're looking at a property, they're going to pop right in that filter. So we don't have to
Yeah.
worry. If we're actively working the filter, we don't have to worry about calling them the minute that they look at that property. What filter is that, Crystal?
It is, well, it's like a last activity filter. You can add it to any filter that's, like save filter that's in your system.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it would be leads that have registered 15 or more days ago, and they're in your database and they've been active within 30 days. Because then that way it's pulling any lead that's been in your database. And that's really important if you're doing mass emailing, because what happens if they open an email, it's going to pop them in that filter. So you're organically building your call list because they opened an email. And then that phone conversation is going to be, hey, I sent an email about one of my properties and I saw that you had opened it. And just wondering. Or you don't even have to go there. You say, I saw that you were online looking at homes. Because if they opened your email, they're online looking at homes because they were in your dashboard.
So you're going to call the first people, say you start, like just where to start if you haven't started and you just want to start. So you'll call, say, the most recent signups and work backwards. And then you will opening them in Agent Locator and adding these filters as you have the conversation. So you're categorizing them.
So you tag them once you have a conversation with somebody. All the tags are pre-built in everyone's dashboards, right, Crystal?
Yeah.
Buyer loss. Okay. So I created the tagging system because basically, if we're not, after we have a conversation with somebody, if we don't have anywhere to put them, they just get lost in a sauce, right? So it was important for me when you go into a grocery store and you've never been into the store before, but you want to buy a bottle of ranch dressing. You walk into a store, how do you know where the ranch dressing is in the store?
Look at the signs, try to categorize it where it would be.
So you narrow it down to the aisle,
Yeah.
and then you have the shelf tags in the aisle, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So when we have our tags, we have them all grouped up into buyer lost, into future opportunity, seller lost. So within those groups, we have reasons of future opportunity. Future opportunity, I have an agent. Okay, how do you know the agent? Well, they've been sending me properties on the computer. When do you plan on buying? Oh, not for a couple of years. Okay, future opportunity, because what are the odds that they're going to be using that agent in a year from now, right?
Right.
We watch. Future opportunity relocation, future opportunity divorce, future opportunity, I'm just looking, but I'm within a year, right?
Yeah. Pregnancy,
Yes.
death, unfortunately, but just
Yes.
like everything. Yes. No, of course.
So you have your aisle tag, and then you can tag them specifically. So after you have the conversation, we can organize that dashboard, because the only time they qualify for time on your calendar is if you feel you have a 70% chance or more of closing them. How do we know that? Based on the conversation, right? We have that feeling when we have those really good conversations, when they're like, yes, I want you to send me listings. Yes, I want you to follow up with me. Yes, my dog's name's Oscar. Oh my gosh, my kids love to play soccer. And like, we have those conversations, right? So if you know, if you follow up and follow through, that you have such a high chance of closing that deal, they go on your calendar.
Yeah.
So that way we're segueing, not putting everybody on our calendar and
Yeah.
overtasking ourselves,
Yeah.
able to tag them, separate them, and then we can pull up, okay, I want to see all of my leads that said they had an agent. And then you can see right in the main dashboard, you pull up 25 leads that say they have an agent. And you're like, oh my gosh, I haven't talked to that one in 9 months and they were just active yesterday. Huh, they have an agent, but they mustn't have bought yet. I'm going to give them a phone call.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, just checking in to see how your home search is going. I know last time we talked, I didn't know what your time frame was.
Yeah. And what you said was a good one too. How's your dog, Oscar?
Yeah,
You know, people
taking
love to
good
connect
notes.
with stuff like that. My boyfriend's a dental hygienist, and that's his like secret to being everybody wants just him because he is so personable. If you will, he will even go as far as if you say you're taking a trip to Wasaga or Muskoka, he'll Google Muskoka and wherever you're going and say, hey, a popular destination is this restaurant. Are you hitting that? So now you connected with them and they're like, wow, they listened to my conversation. You listened to me personally. So that connection wins me over the next because I find people are not personable anymore. They don't ask,
100%.
how are you? How are you feeling today?
100%. And
Yeah.
it's really you being able to trick your brain to say, because when you first started talking, you were like, most of my business is a repeat referral and I don't like my cold calls. But if you can trick your brain
Mhm.
to just realize these people are just like your referral people.
Yeah. Yeah. Because they
They have the
come to
same
me.
problems. They
Yeah.
exactly. It's just we don't
Yeah.
like chasing.
Yeah.
But are we really chasing if we're calling and asking them questions about their life?
Yeah. Yeah.
And once we ask that question of what has to happen for you to make that move, we get a lot of information.
Yeah. And transferring that to a system to something personable. Oh, wow, that's a human that actually walked in the rain today too, just as I did. You know,
Yeah.
so yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. So it's really looking at your agent locator as like this is your one
Mhm.
total machine, but I would not be putting my people in the MLS. And I would only be setting up personal searches when you have
Really?
a conversation with them.
Okay, okay, okay. Yes, 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 yes.
Because what happens, this is the worst, right? They buy the house and we forget to turn them off like they're under contract and we forget to turn them off. They're like, hey, this listing just came on the market. You're like, oh my God, no, you're already under contract. Right.
Mhm.
And if they get too much information, they get overwhelmed.
Yes.
So really find that one place. An agent locator is just so much more efficient for you to be able to pull all the leads at one shot to see who's actively engaged, who's actively looking. Now you can move them out of there. Like once you're actively showing a property and you really want to refine it, you can put them in the MLS. But for the most part, I would keep everybody an agent locator and just refine it in there.
What about with that house that I was saying in Mississauga that I've had for 2 years? Do you think I should be adding those clients to this database and then marketing everybody, or that's not even relevant?
Your sellers?
Yeah, my sellers.
Heck yeah. Because you want them to see what you're doing.
Okay.
Heck yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you want your sellers to see what you're marketing about their property.
Okay.
And those are great reasons to have conversations with your sellers. Say, hey, I'm
Mhm.
putting a marketing campaign, I'm putting an email and texting marketing campaign together about your home. Tell me what it is that you like the most about your property.
Mhm. Mhm.
And then I mean, I would do the social media campaign too, and just ask them like, what's your favorite restaurant? What's your favorite, what is your favorite about the town, about the community, about the blah, 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 and start a social media campaign about the property as well. And you
Or
don't have
even,
to tag them.
yeah,
You don't have to tag them as the owners, and they may share it and go, hey, look at this, right? Some
Hmm.
sellers will share it.
that's
Um,
actually a great idea, even just to tag local restaurants.
yeah,
For example, mine is Mineola, right down the street is like Port Credit, which is really a popular neighborhood. And there's restaurants like Posta and those kind of restaurants. If I tag them with the listing, yes, no, that's I don't know if they would share it though. So what benefit would that be in the
it,
event that they share it or just to
well, the benefit is you're showing community
okay.
and you're helping other businesses, right? By sharing community.
Okay.
So in the tagging, some of the tagging, it does show up depending on their settings. Some of it does show up on their news feed.
Okay.
Mhm.
And then in Instagram, they may share it to their story.
Okay.
And if it's a business that you have a relation with, just go, hey, I have a home on the market and your restaurant is like their favorite restaurant. I just shared a story. Would you mind like sharing it into your stories or something like that?
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And I always said like I sold community, not the houses. Because that's what people are looking for right now. People are, and they don't even know quite what they're looking for, but they're looking for a community of people that can be their tribe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And COVID has really changed how people socialize and how they know how to socialize.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's
So
for
when we
sure.
start pulling community together and start showing community, people are like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's some great stuff.
cross marketing.
Yeah.
Mhm. No, for
What
sure.
did
And
you
you can ask AI even like your social target. So I pulled the description of your property and all the details, and it gave me like who you're targeting towards, income levels, what their interests are,
Okay. Oh, wow. Yes. That's good stuff too.
right?
Yeah.
And then, yeah,
Absolutely.
I'll shoot you. I'll just take a snapshot of what it said. Obviously, you don't have to do all of what it said because you already
Yeah.
have it listed.
Yeah. No, I would
But
love
other
that.
things, even like, is just having open house event for realtors and just blast it out to everyone,
Did that
your
already.
brokerage or not, even like all of
75
them.
realtors came. I had a
Oh wow.
musician, I had catering,
Oh
I
wow.
had alcohol, mimosas, and I told everybody to do, I reached
Yeah,
out for that favor. Everybody came. Everybody knows I'm there.
yeah,
Every
yeah,
party I go to or realtor office, they're like, how's Dogwood?
yeah,
How's Dogwood?
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
still on the market.
Aw,
It's still
yeah.
there. Yeah, it'll hit somebody. It'll hit
Yeah, yeah,
somebody. It could even be, it's like being in the country but not, right? And so
yeah,
even people from up north that aren't in the city, that they might have people looking towards the city that
yeah,
have, that don't want to sacrifice property because they're
yeah,
moving.
yes.
Yeah, it's hang in there. The
Good.
market never stays the same.
Yes,
No.
no, that's for sure. I've been in
Yeah.
business 17 years. So
Yeah.
I find I've been helping new agents in the last little while because they're like, oh my God, my listing's been up for a month. I was like, buckle down and get comfortable.
Yeah.
I'm like, do you know brochures? Yes. Well, look, welcome
Yeah.
to the world of brochures and mail outs
Mhm.
and the way we used to
Yeah.
market stuff, it
Yeah.
doesn't sell in a day just by putting your sign in front and looking pretty.
No.
You actually have to work.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah, no, it's a different market again, for sure.
it is.
Mhm.
And we have to adjust our differences to the market.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's been such a pleasure.
It's been great, actually. I'm really happy that I showed up for this.
Yay.
Yes, no,
Awesome.
you guys have been
Awesome.
great. I gave me some great ideas. I made some notes and I'm going to work on it right away.
Awesome.
Yeah, don't be a stranger to your leads. They're I don't consider them cold calling. I just want to know where they are in the process. So
Yeah.
if you come in with that, like
Mindset.
you're just doing the
Yeah.
investigation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's great. Good stuff.
Awesome.
All right. Well, have
All
a
right.
great day. Thank you
You
as
as
Thank
well.
always.
you.
Thanks, Bev. Thanks,
Next
Danielle.
time I
Thank
see
you. You
you.
guys
All right.
too. All
Everyone.
right.
Enjoy your
Bye.
days. Bye.
Bye.